Thanks for staying with us. So we have a COVID-19 survivor, Oluwaseun Osowobi via Skype. Good morning. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, you're okay. It's not via Skype, it's via phone. Okay, good to have you on the show. So how have you been feeling since you've been discharged?
I feel great. I've just been taking a lot of time to rest because while I have fully recovered, my body also needs to adjust back to a normal system, and also my mental health is very important to me. So I feel really good.
Great.
I'm just taking more time to rest and bond with my family.
All right. I've been very curious about what happens in the isolation centers, especially because when we watch international media, we see horror stories of people gasping for breath, families crying. We see these horror stories and we are moved to understand the gravity of what's at stake. But when we see in Nigeria, it's almost as though, I saw a video recently that was circulating where they were recording inside the centers, and those in there were practically doing well. They were breathing okay, they were happy, they were singing, and it was like, okay, yes, you're positive, you're asymptomatic, and you've been isolated, and you're just having fun. That's how we're seeing it. Could you help us clarify exactly what happens in the isolation centers in Lagos State?
So that's the male ward, and I really don't have information about the male ward because we're in different places.
Okay.
But for the female ward, we have like two different people. So those who have symptoms and those who are asymptomatic. I was one of those who had symptoms. And so my experience will be definitely different from those who didn't have any symptoms. For those who don't have symptoms, it's easy, they have enough energy and strength to fight COVID. They're able to take their medication in good time. They are strong. And so it's a good thing for them to show positivity and do videos to encourage everybody out there.
Right.
But for myself, on the other hand, who had symptoms, it wasn't as easy for me. And there were times where I did, contemplate that I might not survive the experience because my body was breaking down, literally.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very different situation for different people. So for me, I had symptoms, I had diarrhea.
Right.
So I would like you to...
I was busy, I was vomiting, I was doing everything.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So I would like you to break down what exactly was the treatment like. I read that, you were on over a 30 pills per day treatment. What exactly was it like? And what was the side effect of that treatment? How exactly, just details of what you had to deal with and how you had to go through treatment.
So my medication was a bit different from others because, like I said, I had symptoms. And so every morning, every afternoon, every evening, the nurses would come in to check my vitals, my blood pressure, my pulse, my SpO2 to check to ensure that my oxygen level wasn't dropping below what was normal before they if they have to take me to ICU at any time, the SpO2 helps to check that. And so they give me medication in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And sometimes the medication switch because the medication that I'm reacting to. So, for example, there's a particular medication that makes me actually stool, like diarrhea, makes me vomit, and makes me lose my sense of taste. So I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't even drink water.
Right.
Drinking water was like a battle. So, the medications, they have like, side effects like nausea and dizziness and all of that.
Right.
But,
did you ever need a ventilator?
Sorry?
Did you ever need a ventilator? Did you get to that point where you needed one?
No, my case was well managed. I didn't have to use a ventilator at any time.
Okay.
But, there were times where they were scared, were a bit scared, and they would tell me, please drink water, please take your ORS, we need you to fight. And, that was a very strong message that things are not going right with my vitals.
Okay, Seun, you're young because a lot of people or a lot of information we've heard is that maybe when you're young, your symptoms will be mild, except if you had like a pre-existing condition. At the time you got this, were you already treating for something else? Were you already going to the hospital for something else? And because of that, that made your symptoms more severe? Or you're just being a regular healthy person and then your symptoms just happened to be more severe than others?
I'm a very healthy young person. I wasn't treating any condition. And that's a misconception that people have, that as long as you're young, you have a very, good immune system automatically. That's not how it works. I mean, from the news in the UK, we've seen 13-year-olds die. God rest their soul. It's not really about being young or old. Coronavirus doesn't discriminate. It just attacks your system. If your system is able to fight it and your blood also is able to fight for you, that's fine. But if both systems are not able to fight for you, then you would definitely be down with it.
Right.
I didn't have any condition. I was very healthy.
So let me ask you this question concerning stigmatization. So since you've been discharged, have you been through a situation where maybe they're asking you not to interface with people don't want to come to you, families and friends are scared of engaging you? Have you had that experience?
Since my return, I've actually been self-isolating still.
Okay.
I'm staying by myself. I've not gone anywhere since I left the isolation center.
Okay.
So I'm literally, trying to protect myself and other people as well by staying in my house.
Okay.
But in terms of stigmatization, I've had a couple of people come out to say, "Oh, I read your story. Is it true? I used to think this was all a lie from the government to embezzle funds, But since you told your story, can you confirm that you or did someone write it about you? People still have their doubts. And I took my time to clarify and, tell them that it is for real. And, I've heard, someone who was in my ward, and there's an ongoing conversation right now because our employers want to sack her.
Right.
Because of a condition.
Right.
Which I think is the highest form of discrimination and stigmatization ever.
Yes.
I mean, coronavirus is not a death sentence. It's not something someone wishes for themselves.
Right.
But when someone, contracts this thing and survives it, we should be celebrating with them as against trying to, withhold their salary or trying to, sack them.
Okay, all right, point taken.
Sharon, please, could you tell us if you were told that because you've had this already, you have antibodies that maybe will protect you from further, contracting it or reinfecting people?
Yes, I have antibodies right now that will protect me from the infection. But I'm also just trying to protect myself because anything can happen. I mean, I didn't think I could get coronavirus because I was very careful about where I went, about what I touched. I was washing my hands. I was doing all of that. But I still got it one way or the other. So I'm not, giving chance at all. I'm just going to protect myself and my family as much as I can.
So, Sharon, Nigerians are under the impression that this is for big men disease and it's a foreign disease. So it's either they bring it in or we can never have it. But right now, I would like you to tell us maybe where you were, even though it was abroad at the time, what kind of arrangement was where you were? What kind of spacing was observed at the place where you were at the time? So people can understand how possible it is to catch this virus even though they've never left the country.
So I was in the UK and I was at different high-level events. I was meeting a lot of top people at the time. But again, it really doesn't matter where you are. You can get it anywhere. I could have gotten it on the subway. There's a very
crowded place.
I could have gotten it from the market as well because I went to shop. Someone could have touched something and I touched it right after, or someone could have sneezed close to me and I did not observe, and the droplets got into my mouth or got through to my nose. So it doesn't really matter, where you are. Whether you go to the market to go and get essential stuff or you, go for social gatherings.
Right.
It doesn't matter if people are, indicating any symptoms. You can still get it because some people don't have any symptoms, but they are carriers. And then if they sneeze or they cough or, they shake your hand, they are highly, able to infect you with it.
Right.
And trust me,
because
it's not
of time,
an experience anybody wants to have.
Because of time, let me try to get a few more questions to you. The government told us last week they were looking for over 6,000 people. Now this week they're saying about 2,000 plus people. In your own case, do you think the government have been able to track down everybody you've been in contact with the moment you stepped into this country? Do you know if your circle of influence have been contacted, if they've been isolated, or if any of them have come down with symptoms?
So I don't have that information at the moment, but I do know that governments did try, based on the information I saw online and what the Commissioner for Health directly told me. Efforts were ongoing at the time to trace everyone on my flight, and information about my flight was actually published online, so people who were on that same flight would come forward, and get tested. So I don't have information if everybody has been reached and tested, but I do know that efforts were being made to do that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You mentioned your mental health when you started talking, and mental health has been a conversation with, as a country we're having even before COVID-19, came upon us. I just want to know, while you were receiving treatment and maybe after you were done, was there any form of counseling or talking to you while you were apart? Because there was a point you said you were by yourself before others joined you in the ward. So how was that when you were just by yourself? And was there anything else, that was done for you, to help you psychologically?
So the Lagos State team has a psychotherapy team as well. And they did contact me, to check in on me, to help me through the process, But sometimes, the mental health strength comes from you, yourself, not with what another person is telling you, because the other person doesn't really feel the pain or understand what you're going through at that moment. So you are the person who can encourage yourself and speak to yourself and try to build, your mental capacity to fight this experience. So yeah, they did have a team, and I had a contact person who was, calling me from time to time.
Many Nigerians feel that Lagos State or the government generally are overreacting, that really and truly we have 238 cases and only about 5 people have died, and we're building isolation centers, we're importing ventilators or even creating some here locally. That so much money is being expended for this virus, even though we have very little case we're managing in the country. In your view as a survivor, how do you react to this line of thinking?
It's always important for every country to have a very high healthcare system. And in times of pandemics like this, it's important that we prepare for the worst. So importing ventilators and getting medical techniques on point is a good thing. It doesn't mean that we'll have 20,000 or 30,000 cases. But let's just imagine the worst case scenario. If 0.01% of the Lagos State population gets infected, we need all of those medical equipment that we are bringing in or trying to order right now. We need to prepare. We don't need to wait to have 10,000 cases before we then start rambling, and trying to get equipment together. I think it's a very false mentality to have, because we always prepare against a pandemic. And
right.
If it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, at least we are prepared, which is what Nigeria should be doing right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Seun, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your call. And we'll keep on talking to you. Hope you get well and 100% strong as you were before.
Yeah, some tweets.
All right. Take care. We'll be speaking to Oluwaseun Osowobi. She's been a survivor of COVID-19 in Lagos State. Let's take a few tweets.
Babs Obeni was talking on the last topic that those who wasted the bread are not just mischievous, but they're evil people. Yoruba people will say, that what you detest, others crave for. Why not allow those who are indeed hungry to have it? Ahmed Oshio is saying congratulations to Seun. Badi Gershon says, some companies and individuals giving money to the government is not a bad idea, but they should use it to reach out to vulnerable Nigerians. And Andrew in Street Town says, I don't tire for this Nigeria. After 60 years, to make this food reach every poor person, they should use health, school, census, tax registration numbers as ID and integrate it into our large database. That, you know, was a right, number that you called. That's all.
All right, that's all we can take on the show. All right, as we say, please keep safe, maintain your social distancing, wash your hands, use your sanitizers, and always keep about 3, 4, 5, 6 feet away from those you're speaking with. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.